Yeah, today concept is about logical operators in Python. So, what is logical operator? When you use logical operator, how do you use logical operator? Everything we'll get to know today. Okay. In simple terms, logical operators are used to combine conditional statements. Logical operators are used to combine conditional statements. So, in this means that whenever you want to do some decision making based on the multiple conditions within single expression, that time we go for this logical operators. So, what are the logical operators available in Python? One is AND operator, OR operator, and NOT. So, AND operator and OR operator are the logical operators and NOT also. Yeah, yeah. AND operator return true if both conditions are true. That means that here x is less than 5 and x is less than 10. If this condition is true, if this condition also true, then only AND will return true. Otherwise, AND will return the false. In case of OR condition, return true if one of the statement is true. That means that here, this is one condition, this is another condition, right? So, if we use OR logical operator, at least one condition needs to satisfy in order to return the true value. If any of the condition is not satisfying, that means that it returns the false value. So the simple funda is if you are using AND means you are expecting to satisfy the two conditions, then only it return true. If you are using OR, if you are okay with at least one condition it satisfies, if it is okay with your business, you can go with any of these. Either this one could be true, either this one could be true. So R will return true at least one condition satisfies. AND return true only when both conditions are satisfying. Okay, not is less just reverse result. We will check that later. No problem. So let's do some examples on logical operators. So simple AND use it to what guys? Use it to combine multiple conditions. So what do you mean by combining multiple conditions and all we will see later today. Yeah. So here 5 greater than 4. This is single condition, right? But if you want to use logical operator, we want to have multiple conditions, at least two conditions. Let's say, let's say a is equal to 10. Okay, a is equal to 10, and a is a greater than or equal to 10. What it is returning? True, right? The syntax is same, guys. Here, if you are using AND, we are logically combining these two conditions into one condition. So, what is the AND behavior? AND returns true only when this condition is true, this condition is true. Okay, that means that if same expression first a equal to 10, that means that 10 is equal to 10. What it is going to return? True only, right? True. And after that, we have a AND expression. And after that, a is greater than or equal to 10. Greater than any of fails, equal will satisfy it. This is also going to return true. True and true. Whenever you use and, this condition is true, second condition also true. That means the total output will be evaluated as a true. I am getting true here. So if we are using and if any of the condition fails, everything will return false. Let's say a is greater than 10 and a is equal to 10. Here how Python is going to execute this and how are you going to evaluate this statement. So is this true or false? A is greater than 10. Is it true or false? False, right? It's not greater than 10. It's 10 only, right? And it may be true. What is the output? False. I'm expecting false value here. Yeah, this is the false value. 1 minute, guys. I'm taking water. Yeah. So everyone understood this statement. And will return true only when both conditions are true. And will return false when one of the condition false and both conditions are false. Clear? So let's take another case. A less than 5 and A greater than 11. In this case, what is the output, guys? First, what is the first condition? A value is 10. 10 is less than 5. Is it true or false? False, right? False. And this and after that, A is greater than 11. 10 is greater than 11. False, right? What is the total output? False and false also become false one. False only. Okay. So like this, yeah, it's returning false only. So whenever you are dealing, if you want to do some condition checking with multiple conditions, that time we can use this because AND is a logical operator. Why you are calling logical operator? Logically, this AND is combining these two conditions and evaluating as a true or false based on the both conditions. Did you understand this point? What AND is doing here? Any concerns? Any questions here? Next one is OR operator. So OR will return true if at least one condition satisfies. Okay. OR will return true if at least one condition satisfies. Let's see that how OR is going to behave. So in this case, if you observe it, let's take this example, false and true, right? So in this case, if I use AND, what is AND behavior? Both conditions satisfies, then only it is going to return true value. But in this case, one condition false, one condition is true. That's why it returning false. For the same thing, if I use instead of AND, if I use OR operator, logical operator, what is going to do? What is the behavior of OR? Will return true if at least one condition satisfies. So here, what is the first one? A greater than 10, false. Or A equal to 10. A value 10 only, right? 10 equal to 10. That means that true. What is the total output of this expression? Total output of this expression? True only. See it. Same thing is returning true, but here return false. Because this is the AND behavior. If you use AND, this condition needs to satisfy. If you use OR, at least one condition needs to be satisfied. OR will return true only. So let's take this example, right? False and false. Let's take the same example here. R. So in this case, A is less than 5. It's a false, right? Or A is greater than 11. 10 is greater than 11. No, right? False. If in this context, as per R, at least one condition needs to satisfy. Any condition satisfied here, passed here, no, right? Both conditions failed. That means that it is going to return the false. I am getting false or not output. Okay. So the only difference between and or is whenever you use and, that time this condition needs to satisfy, then only it will return true. Otherwise false. In case of R, at least one condition satisfies, R will return true, otherwise it return false. That is only the difference between and or. So let's take a, let's say not example, not operator or symbol. So here the use of not is, let's say a is equal to some valid number, some value, not a. What it is returning? It returning false because not. What we are checking is not a means when this value is empty, some valid object not there, that time only it return true. But here there is a object. Not a means if there is any object here, it return false. Let's say a is equal to 0. Oh, sorry, a is equal to 0, not a. See what it is going to return. Name is equal to Badra, not name. What it is returning? It returning false. In case name is just one empty string, not name, it returning true. If so, it guys, not will return true when this object is empty or some invalid value. I mean, nothing is there. Like salary is equal to none, right? None is also a null kind of value. Nothing. So if not salary, true. In case if I have any salary here, let's say some number, this time it is going to return false because there is already some salary, right? Understood this point? Not will return true when this object is empty or either 0 or none or empty string, or even is manager is equal to false, not is manager, it returning true because it's a false, or it is a, because not is means opposite case. When there is no valid object or false or 0 or empty string, that time not always returns the true value. In case if we have true here, it is going to return the false. It is going to return the false. Clear this part? Not. Generally we use this not, and or in the conditional, if condition, else condition, if else conditions, conditional statements in Python. So when you are going to discuss about this part, and or, we are going to do so many examples on and or concept. Okay. So this is how and operator works. This is how or operator works. Let's do some examples on it. So I'm just taking, write a program, write a program to find the max number between three numbers. So let's say num1 equal to 10, num2 equal to 30, num3 is equal to 100. So in this context, This time num1 is 10, but in reality these are dynamic. Num1 could be, while executing code in real time, num1 value could be anything, num2 value could be anything, num3 value also could be anything. But our program should be able to execute the business logic and find the max number, which is the highest number, right? Highest number it needs to find. In this context, what is the output are you expecting as per this input? 100 is the output, right? Yes or no, guys? Everyone understood this requirement first of all? Tell me.
Yes.
So today I am going to write the if condition. If you do not worry about the syntax, that's fine. Okay. I will tell you how to write the if condition and all while discussing about conditional statements. But today it is demanding me to add if condition to do some decision making statements to find which is maximum number. I mean highest number. So do not worry about this syntax. Okay. If so, in order to find the maximum number, I mean highest number between these three, this number supposed to be greater than this one and this one, right? It's supposed to, if it is a maximum highest number. If not, this number supposed to be greater than this one and this one, and this number supposed to be greater than this one and this one, right? That means that num1 num1 greater than num2 and num1 greater than num3. Here what I am doing is, do not worry about this column syntax. I will tell you later. Num1, num2, num3. Here what I am doing, num1 is greater than num2. This number is greater than this one, not. And num1 is greater than num3. And this number is greater than this number or not. That means that here you are using and here. That means that if this number is really greater than this number and this number, that this is the maximum highest number, right? So that's why I'm using and here. Print 100. Elif. Next, num2, I am just checking. Num2 also needs to check with num1 and num2. If num2 is greater than num1, num2 is greater than num2, num3, then num2 is the highest number, right? Num2 greater than num1 and num2 greater than num3. Print. So here we supposed to, we can direct, sorry, no need to hard code like this. We can directly give this value here instead of hard coding like this. Here also, here what is the max value? If this condition satisfies, this is say num2 is the highest value, right? So if num1 is not highest, num2 or is not the highest. So by default num3 is the highest number, right? Else no condition check. Print num3. So I'm just running this code to see that output. Yeah. Whenever you are using this kind of if conditions, whatever code available inside this if, right? This particular code is going to be executed only when this condition returns the true, right? Is this condition going to return true? No, right? Num1 is 10, no. Num2 is 30. Num1 is greater than num2. Num1 is greater than num2. This one false, right? And if if you are using uncondition, if one condition false, the total expression will be false only. If false means this print statement not going to execute. It will go to the next condition check. Here num2 is 30, num1 is 10. 30 is greater than 10. Perfect. It returns the true. And num2 is 30 greater than 100. It's false, right? So that means that true and false. True and false means if it is and both condition needs to satisfy. That means that this condition is getting failed here. The total output of this expression is false. If false, this elif print statement also not going to execute. So it will come to the else. Here there is no condition by default. Num3 is getting executed. I am getting num3. So let me change this num num num1 is equal to 20, num2 is equal to 100. Sorry, let me give another number. Num2 is equal to 44, num3 equal to 10. Okay. Okay, just to here I assigned 100 and just overriding this with 44. Now num1 value is 20, num2 value is 44, num3 value is 10. So in this case, what I am going to get it? See it guys, I'm just going to enter the same program. I am getting 44 or not? See what is happened here. Num1 is greater than num2. In this case, what is the num1 value? Num1 value is 20. What is the num2 value? 44. 20 greater than 44. False, right? If one condition false, it is and right, entire thing will be false. That means that Python won't print this statement. It will goes to the it will goes to the next condition check. So here num2 is 44. 44 is greater than 20. True. And 44 is greater than num3 10, right? So that means that 44 is greater than 20 and 44 is greater than 10 also. That means that this is true, this is also true. Both are true, right? And will return what? Total expression output? True. If it is true, this print statement is going to execute. Num2 will be the max number. Between num1, num2, num3, num2 only the max number, right? I mean highest number. It is getting that, printing that statement. Once it is printed, it will come out of this and it is not going to execute this. Whenever we have this kind of thing, only one block will be executed based on the condition. Okay. Everyone able to understand this? Trace the program. Why it is returning 44? Okay. This is how we use undo in the real time scenarios. Okay. Let's do some example on R. Okay. 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 Write a program. Write a program to check given person is eligible for driving license, for example. So simple guys, write a program to check given person is eligible for driving license or not. Eligible criteria is age threshold, right? Minimum age, right? Min age equal to 18, right? As per the government rules to get the driving license, 18 or something. And minimum age is 18. Or minimum age is 18. Let's add something like uh, degree is degree as let's as degree is equal to false. Just I'm adding some random example, guys. This is not at all relevant in the real time scenario, but just I'm so minimum age is 18 and as studied is false. So as per my criteria, one person is eligible if his age is 18 or at least he is studied, if his age is 17 or something. Okay, so at least one condition needs to satisfy in order to get the eligibility for the driving test or something. Okay, so this is just my criteria, not real time criteria, just checking that. If min underscore age greater than or equal to 18 అయితేనే is eligible, one condition, or has studied. Print eligible. Okay, else print not eligible. So let me run this. Here what is happening? Eligible, right? Because age is greater than or equal to 18. This condition is satisfying here, right? True. If it is or at least one condition needs to satisfy. This condition satisfied, this print statement is executed. Okay. So let's take another example. Now age is 16, 17. Okay, but he has studied, guys. For example, some he did some as underscore studied equal to, this time it is true. So I'm just taking this program here. In this case, minimum age minimum sorry, yeah, now age is 17, person age is 17 and he is studied. In this case, min age is 17, right? 17 greater than or equal to 18. What is the output? False, right? Or as studied value is true only, right? It's true. False and or true. As per R, at least one condition needs to satisfy. This is returning false, but as studied is true value only, right? So that means that eligible is also should come here this time also. Coming na eligible. Worst case, not eligible, right? So let's take min age as a 17 only. Yeah, studied also false. So in this case, just let me bring this program here. In this case, age is 17, greater than or equal to 18. False, right? 17 not at all greater than 18 or equal to 18. It's less than, right? It's a false. Or yeah, studied is false, right? This is false. This one also the false. False or condition written false, right? If any of the one, at least one condition not satisfying, both conditions are not satisfying, so R will return the false. So that means that this print statement is not going to execute here. It will come to else and execute this print statement. Not else will coming in. Are you able to follow? So do not worry about if and else. If we see this thing, we will discuss in later classes. But generally, this comparison, these all logical operators and all generally we use with these conditional statements only. I'm just giving some brief overview of examples. What is the purpose of R and what is the purpose of and? Is it clear, guys?